Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is John. In this video, we're gonna be looking at a couple things. First one, doing a quick oil change on my TJ. Not doing the filter, just doing the oil. Second thing that we're gonna be looking at is I got a couple parts in for this bad boy right here. I'll show you what those are. I have already winterized the Corvette. I didn't really want to make a video about it. It wasn't that special. I just ran fuel stabilizer, disconnected the battery, threw a cover on it, call it a day. I've also just been doing a couple of little things. Oh, there's actually one other big thing. So before I go to the little things, the big one is I got back into drawing again. Drew a lot in high school and in university, and I really enjoyed it. Since COVID, I had a lot of time to think about how I can make it purposeful. I started doing caricatures of cars. I posted them on different Facebook groups. I got a lot of nice feedback. They gave me a couple ideas. I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna do a coloring book that you can buy. In addition to that, if one of them really stood out, you could probably get it on a shirt. Other than that, the last thing that I've been doing is hopefully I figured out a realistic heating solution for this garage. It gets really cold. All right guys, so today it's snowing a little bit, but I hit that 10,000 kilometer mark. I read the owner's manual, which was written by the people who built the car. They recommend if you tow stuff 8,000, if you don't tow stuff, I think it was 12, something in between. I thought I'd keep it simple. Every 10,000 I change it. I'm just gonna use 10W30. I got full synthetic. You don't really need that. I just got it because it was the same price, it was on sale. I'm gonna show you some work I did to the hardtop I got. I got it for 50 bucks. Which was a steal. It was in perfect shape when I got it, but I went off-roading with a bunch of weight on my roof rack. My CB radio antenna, it got in the way of the hardtop. Soft top, it was great, but it cut a big hole in it, so I took that as an opportunity to fix it, show you guys kind of how to fix a hole in hardtop. And then what I ended up doing is I traded it at a salvage yard for a tan one. That's what's gonna be in the video. Here's the Jeep. Here's kind of the solution that I came up with. So as you can tell, right here is where the old mount used to be, and I cut a big hole right here. So in order to fix it, I popped off this grill. I supported the back side of it, and then I used the proper Bondo materials to patch it, sand it, and then I painted the whole top once I was done, so it blended in. And then I relocated my CV antenna all the way to the top of the roof rack. I should have done it like this probably in the first place because it just makes a lot more sense. So lesson learned, hard tops stick out a lot more than the soft tops do. Here's all the materials I used to fix the hard top if you wanted to do a project like that yourself. Starting off, I had long strain fiberglass body filler. Once that dried, I sanded it down with a disc sander. I went to a body filler after. I used a primer. When I used my color paint, I sprayed it on pretty thick. Most of the hard tops, they are textured, and then I just like to try and get my texture going. I did that a couple times, letting it dry in between each set. Then I just covered it with a very light coat. The end result, I'd say I'm very happy with. I couldn't even tell visually where it was, even when I closed my eyes, and I would just feel around to see if I could tell where that whole patch began or not. So now the reason why I switched it out for the tan one is in my head, I already have my Jeep kind of pictured out how I want it to look. A tan top, that tan map on the hood, and then the lettering and the little logos and whatever else I put, it's probably gonna be that same type of tan. The last thing I'm gonna say about working on a hardtop or switching out a hardtop is if you are gonna do it, make sure you get a hardtop that is the same one. From the beginning models of Jeep PJ till 2006. I think in 2003 they switched over the design so they don't have the vents on the side. Instead, that vent is in the tailgate itself. Make sure if you switch over your hardtop, you get one that matches with the vents or without the vents. If you happen to get one that doesn't have it, it's not the end of the world. All you need to do is just get the tailgate that has the vent in it instead. The reason why Jeep put those vents there is because whenever you close the tailgate, it increases the amount of air pressure inside the cabin to the extent that it pops out one of the back windows. That's why those vents are there. Now let's focus on some other things in the channel, like the Grand Wagoneer. I've been working away, taking stuff off of it. Yeah, more parts are coming off. So this is what's going down. I took off all the radiators and the cooling systems. To my knowledge, this one looks like it's for the transmission, and then this one's for the AC, and then the one in the very back is for the engine. I gotta take this front piece off right here, but in order to do that, I needed to take the fenders off. I'm also thinking about taking these inner wheel wells off. They're pretty bad. To demonstrate how bad they are, this is my battery tray, and hopefully I can find some new wheel well inserts, because those ones are pretty hashed. Like my battery was not good. So this whole time I thought that this thing right here was a type of hose, but it's just a metal post for the battery. Some hooligan who worked on this before me put a freaking clamp on it. It totally looks like a freaking hose too. So like this whole time I've been like flabbergasted. Where does this hose go? That's where it goes. This is always keeping the battery from hitting the engine. So I'm really close to taking this piece off. I just have a couple bolts. Don't have to worry about this one, but there's a couple down here and then another one over there. So right there you got the body mount for the very front. And on this side, it's not there. Alright guys, so since this is all open, it's a great time to show you the water pump, which is this guy right in here. I only drove the car a couple times, but it never overheated. At least that's what the gauge told me. Since it's all open, I'm gonna see if I can just get a new water pump for it. It'll be a heck of a lot easier replacing it now than putting everything back together once it's all ready to go, and then, oh, we need a water pump. I learned that lesson with the Corvette. I'm gonna assume that's the original water pump. It has almost 300,000 kilometers on it. Did its job. I also have these out. I think the driver's side I can fix. I wanna try and just replace the passenger side. I might be able to fix it, but it really should just be replaced. So I'm gonna be continuing to look for those parts as I work on the rest of the car. Now the reason why I have to close that is because it's really cold out, and I got these two heaters that only really work if you give them about an hour and you leave everything closed. I got one right over like the majority of my tools. So my tools are warm, so my hands are warm. That's honestly like the biggest part about working in the winter. Second one, I just move it to wherever I need it. So I'm working on the front of the car. Bam. Hey everyone, so it's a new day. Yesterday, this is kind of where I'm at. I took all the fenders off. I took the front wheels off, the hood is off, the wheel well inserts have been removed. So I want to properly fix all of this bad stuff, and in order to do so, I want to take this bracket off which supports the leaf spring. I can't really fix this part of the frame with this on it, so all this has to come off. Yes, this frame is really bad. I'm going to be inspecting it more and more as I work on it. I'm also going to try and somehow rust proof the inside. Alright guys, so I have been working away. I am this close to getting everything off for the front. I'm going to be rolling the front axle out with the wheels and the shocks and like all the steering stuff and the leaf springs. So I've already disconnected my sway bar, my shocks, my brake lines, my pitman arm, my axle. Now the last thing I need to do is disconnect the actual leaf springs from the frame. Now it is time to jack up the entire Jeep, rest it on jack stands. That way I can take these springs out safely. All of this should just be able to roll out. I'll have a ton of access to the frame. I can pretty much work from the very front all the way back to about here without having pretty much anything in my way. In addition to working on the frame and everything in the front of the car, I also am going to be getting body mounts. I ordered up a whole new set, and if I can find them, the majority of the rubber grommets and bushings for the steering and everything, I want it to be nice and tight. Those are going to be swapped out as well. The radiator for the engine, the radiator for the transmission, and then the AC cooler, whatever you want to call it. I have those 3 coming in, as well as this guy. I'll put all the links in the description to the parts I got. I didn't go dirt cheap, but I also didn't go super expensive. I tried to find a nice middle ground. That's normally how I buy parts. I've bought really expensive, which is like my water pump right here, and it turned out it was not the right one, so that's not fun. And then I bought really cheap, and the crap breaks very fast, and you gotta go buy it again. The lift kit came in. Pretty much when I tear apart this front end, I'm gonna have everything needed to put it back together. I started working on the frame, and let's just say there was more rust than anyone could have imagined for the front of this thing. At the end of the day, I probably will have to get some more metal, because this is the good side. Yeah. Here's the bad side. All right, guys, so this Jeep Grand Wagoneer has come a long way since I got it. I still have no idea how I made it like a 6-hour drive home, because the more I look into it, the sketchier this shit gets. If it's at the front end, I'm gonna be working on it, and it's gonna be in this channel. From here, it looks like a complete turd, but then like I literally take a couple steps this way, and like I block that part with my body, and it's like, oh wow, look, it's good. But yeah, well maybe not, because like that's not supposed to come off. With that out of the way, the little things that I've done, let's take a quick look. The interior has actually been pretty damn amazing in this Jeep. If you've seen my how to make a headliner video, you would have seen kind of how I've done that. I went to Fabricland, I got a bunch of different color samples, and I was able to find one that pretty much matched it dead on. So I bought the whole roll, or whatever was left of it. What I'm gonna be using this for, driver's seat has a little rip in it, which is right here. This is like the only rip amongst all the leather, so I can't even complain. I've been looking in a bunch of places for this type of carpet, because the door insert on the other side, it's bad. Can't find it anywhere. Instead, what I decided to do is I'm going to be using this to fix the bottom of that door insert. At the moment, only one of the windows works. So these just came in today. They are what allows the window to go up and down. So it's that part right there. These do come in different sides, so they're not all the same. I had to get 2 driver side, 2 passenger side. So if you're gonna do the window tracks that have this style, where it's like that, then make sure you get the right side, because if you don't, you can't use it. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and share my videos if you like them and you get some sort of enjoyment out of them. It means a lot. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm currently at 90, so something's gotta change. I'm trying to do it from my end, so you can do stuff from your end too. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. See ya.